Welcome everybody. Today we are going to be talking about money. Now, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen my other videos before, I highly recommend watching them. We're currently renovating an old Queenslander home. It was built in 1906, and with a little bit of a love and attention, it could be worth a lot of money. If we jump into the pricing itself, we bought it for $337,000. A little bit of a backstory to this. We actually originally offered $355,000. We thought it was undervalued for what it was worth, or being sold as, even though it needed some work to it. The character of the home, the bones of the home were very good, and we believe it could have gone a lot more. And this was sort of emphasized when we did make our offer that there were multiple people making offers. Now we got quite lucky because the real estate agent got back to us after a couple of days and had let us know that other people pulled out because they couldn't get the funds. So we were the only bidders left, and he gave us the opportunity to change the price. Being the smart wizards that we are, we lowered the price to what they were asking for, and they accepted. Now, the asking price they were asking for was $339,000. When we got the building pest inspection done, some things came back that were red flags. These were something that we were aware of, but taking advantage of that scenario, we got a couple of $1,000s off the buying price. It wasn't much, but a win is a win. Now, the current rental valuation is $320 per week. Being the type of house it is, the kitchen was barely a kitchen. The bathroom needed a lot of work. The toilet, the only toilet of the house, was sort of outside. It could have gone a little bit lower, but I think a lot of that comes from the character of the home itself, and the big block of land. It's a quarter of an acre, so in saying that, not bad. The renovations themselves, we're spending around $46,000 on the bathroom. And by bathroom, I mean bathrooms. We're adding a new family bathroom, an ensuite, and yeah. So a lot of that comes down to the plumbing. We had divider walls, some walls being knocked down, and all the fun stuff that comes with that. We're going for mid-tier fixtures, not too cheap but not too expensive either. We will be renting it out, but we are aware that the quality you add to it also dictates the valuation that you get at the end of the day. So we're sort of hovering around the middle ground for that. So in terms of estimation, I think we're spending around 6 to 7 thousand on the vanities, the bathtub, all the fixtures, taps, etc., etc. And the rest is building, so contractors, electricians, plumbing, waterproofing, etc., etc. So that's all sort of bundled in with the one price. The kitchen itself, we're spending about $8,000, and this will be a completely new kitchen in a new location. Seasoned people watching this video, they're probably thinking, how the hell we're doing it for $8,000? Assuming we're not just getting one cabinet and one sink and one oven. We're doing this by buying caboodle kitchens from Bunnings. They look good. They're obviously on the cheaper side of things. They're not custom built. They're not going to be fancy or anything, but they do look good. You can sort of get, I think they call it the antique range, or I can't remember what the technical term was, but they look good. Add some black handles, antique white for the coverings, and should fit the house perfectly. We think that will cost around 5 to 6 thousand. That's on the higher end of the mark. Plumbing itself is going to be around 1,000. Because of the space underneath the house, and we're getting a friend to do the plumbing, it's going to return very cheaply for us. And then the electrical work will be $1,000 as well. We don't have a friend as a contractor, so we have to outsource that one. But really, it's just connecting the stove if we get electric one, and adding in some light fixtures and plugs. Paint. Now, we're painting inside the house for $1,200, and by painting inside the house. I mean, 90% of it. We're still waiting for the construction one to be completed before we can finish the rest off. Um, this came back quite cheap also. In fact, we probably spent $900 in paint. And we got that wholesale from our friend, who's a painter by trade. So he can get them quite cheap. And then we paid him a couple $100 just for helping us and using a spray gun to spray the walls and all the sort of fun stuff that we can't really do, or we probably shouldn't do if we want a high quality result. So a friend helped us, and take advantage of your friends, and I mean that in a good way. If you can scratch their back, they can scratch yours, and in terms of money, it helps you a lot. If we were to go the professional route, outsourcing it, probably would have came back 3 to 4,000, even 5,000. It's not a small area, so we saved a lot of money in getting a friend to help us. Other expenses. Other expenses will vary, and it depends on a couple of factors. We wanted to get the front stairs fixed and replace the hand railings. They're the old metal, disgusting, rusty, horrible hand railings at the moment, and it adds no street appeal to the house whatsoever. So we know we want to replace them. We also need to fix the stairs. The footings need to be replaced. They're all rotten, and it depends on how much the stringers have been damaged or how much they are rotten. So we're getting the builder to check that out some point in the future. Assuming they come back okay and we just need to repair and replace the hand railings, it'll be 3 to 4,000. If we need to replace the stringers, it could possibly double that. But I'm going to go for the conservative side, expecting that the stringers will be okay, and give it a number of around $3,000 for the repair and hand railings. Other things we want to do and we need, for example, a skip bin, probably $1,000 max. Fixing of not really fixing, some gardening, and adding a front fence, which we will do ourselves. So we'll save some money there, but cost of buying the wood and the paint and all the stuff that comes with that. In total, I think we'll go to $8,000. I say I think a lot, purely based off that this could change depending on a number of factors. I'm not expecting to spend tens and twenties of thousands of dollars. I wouldn't take it that far, but being on the reserve side and expecting and basing off what I know currently, it would be around this number. Now, if we calculate the total, we estimate that the complete renovation will be $63,000. It's not a bad number, it's not a great number. Being an old house and the amount of work that we had to do to it, perfectly normal figure. In fact, this is a lot better than if we were to outsource everything. It probably would have been $90,000 if we had to go that route. But luckily, we did a lot of the work ourselves, had friends to help us, which helped kept the number low. In terms of valuations, once all the work is completed, we're expecting around $430,000. This is a number based off the lower end of the stick, seeing the types of houses around the area and how much they've sold for. And when I say that, I mean ones that are very common to this one. They go a lot higher. Other houses sort of had little niche things like built underneath the house and pools, but being on the reserve side, 430. Also depends on COVID as well. On the better side, it could go a lot higher, 460, 470, even up to 500, depending on how nice the evaluator is at that day. But as I said, reserve, go on the lower end, expect the worst, and hope for the best. Same with the rental income, with the additional bathroom, additional bedroom, newer kitchen, and the newer bathrooms. I think, basing off what's currently around the area and being on the reserve side, the rental evaluation will be 380. I think this will actually go for 400, but I want to be conservative as possible when it comes to the evaluations. Um, Mainly because once we do get the valuations, I want to be happier. Psychology behind this. If the numbers come back higher than these, I'll be happy. I'll be stoked. But I think at the same time, there's always a chance that we may not get the high numbers. Depends on what the government does with employment and borders are opening and all that sort of fun stuff that comes along with the property market. But yes, overall, these are the estimation numbers. A lot of them are estimation numbers. A lot of them are also numbers that we currently spent, for example, the bathroom. But so I hope you have learned from this. I will make another one once the renovations are completed to see how close to the number we got. Hoping under. There's always a chance to go over, and anyone could preach that in the renovation world. But expect the worst, hope for the best. That's it from me, guys, and I hope you enjoy your night. Goodbye.